What up, my beautiful African family? This is your main man, Theo E.J. Wilson with African Diaspora News. And Auntie Maxine, she on the head again, just like she's supposed to be, doing what elected officials are supposed to do, which is serve the public. And because of the emergencies that the Trump administration has created, this has given them more of an impetus to actually stay on code and do what they are elected to do, which is serve the public. And right now, Auntie Maxine has released a letter directed to the HUD director and to Donald Trump, warning of cuts that are about to happen for programs that serve the homeless. I'm talking about the least of these, y'all. I'm talking about those of us who literally don't have a place to live. I don't know what it is about this administration bullying on the poor, but Maxine, as long as she's around, ain't gonna let this stand. And so here's what's happening right now in Washington, D.C. So Maxine Waters and a committee of Democrats have spoken out forcefully against a 50% cut to the Continuum of Care program, a program actually started under George W. Bush. And this program provides federal funding for permanent housing so that those who are unhoused can get back on their feet. So the Griot reports in a letter to HUD Secretary Scott Turner, led by Representative Waters, House Democrats warned that the slashing of funds would create funding gaps and worsen the homelessness crisis in America, which is disproportionately impacting Black and Brown Americans. Black Americans make up 32% of the more than 771,000 people experiencing homelessness, despite making up only 13% of the population. So this cut of funding isn't just going to affect those already experiencing homelessness, but it could affect perhaps those with diabetes, those who have disabilities, and even the people who are experiencing domestic violence that are looking for shelters. This also affects DV shelters. So there are a wide-ranging series of effects that could come from cutting this funding. Maxine Waters in the letter described the current program as it is a low barrier approach used to provide stable and affordable housing for people experiencing homelessness without preconditions to ensure the most basic necessities like shelter and food are first met, said the letter. It also ensures individuals have access to supportive services that are necessary to achieve successful outcomes, whether it be employment, substance abuse treatment, or mental health services. So now you're just looking at the fact that the very least of these, in an already stressed government, that the budget is getting cut here and cut there, are going to be experiencing the impacts of this housing funding cut. The cuts in the programming, there's still going to be a time to apply to it and get on your feet, but it's not looking like it's going to be realistically met. So here's what else that letter says, and I think this is the most damning part. Waters and other Democrats also rebuked a new extremely compressed application timeline for recipients of the program funds, which gives applicants only 60 days to apply. The House members called it an unreasonably short time frame, considering the application process takes nearly 80 calendar days to complete and submit to HUD. Now, when you add this on to what's happening, for example, in my city, in Denver, Colorado, where you've got this rough architecture being laid out to stop homeless people from sleeping where they might create eyesores, right? They got rocks and they got benches that have like spikes on them and stuff like that. You've got situations where if there's a vent where like heat could be coming out, they play loud music in the vents. It's just a bunch of civic cruelty. And when you consider the fact that the disproportionate amount of Black people experiencing homelessness is absolutely real, this could be classified under an advancement of systemic racism, y'all. I remember when I was doing direct community action outreach work, and I would go and our coalition would feed the homeless, and I'm talking about there were so many Black people there, Black people from all sorts of walks of life that are just barely hanging on to the bottom rungs of the economy and falling off due to the accelerating cost of rising home prices. When you look at the fact that you got companies, private equity firms like BlackRock purchasing huge amounts of homes, driving up home prices and making it so that people who got jobs can't even afford to get a home, young people especially. This new level of disrespecting and defunding folks who are already poor is something that could lead to mass civil unrest. We got to be careful about things like that. So if in your neck of the woods, if you see an increase of homelessness, if you see these folks acting out, acting erratically, even posing a danger to folks because they ain't getting the kind of treatment that they need, understand that this is where it comes from. And the fact is that these fallouts end up taking time. It might show up on another president's watch, right? And then when you add on to the fact that you have prison for profit corporations, right, like Geo Group, changing the laws and making the barrier for crime even lower, including things like loitering. They're picking up homeless folks and filling for-profit prisons with the bodies of people who could barely afford to live in this society as is. It's just a bunch of literally psychopathic legislation, and this is a part of it. And black folks are disproportionately affected. And I got to tell you that you can see it when you walk outside. So this kind of stuff is happening in your neck of the woods. Make sure that you form a relationship with your local representatives. Make sure that you become civically involved, civically engaged. These are the fallouts of the elections that a lot of people don't talk about, right? These national things have, of course, local consequences, and who is in power absolutely matters, right? And so become involved. Show up to community meetings with your elected officials. Make sure I've got my representatives' numbers in my phone. I call them, right? There's something going on. I'm civically engaged, and I'm encouraging you to do that too. So we're all connected in this, and we want to make sure that we protect those who cannot protect themselves. That's just my thoughts on it. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. I'm Theo E.J. Wilson with African Diaspora News. We bring you the very best of news that we can when it comes to those who are in the black family, both here in America and across the world. And if you value that, go ahead and download the app. I gotta say it again, download the app. It ain't number $9.99 a month. I download the app. You should too. That breaks down to about 13 cents a day. And if you like what I'm saying and how I'm saying it, go ahead and follow my personal channel at Theo Cyrus Rising right here on YouTube. My name's Theo E.J. Wilson. Go ahead and join me next time, or you join me this time. I'm out.